Well met, old friend.
Old friend? That's a stretch.
Here we are, alone together, standing at the precipice at the end of all time.
Okay, let's cut the melodramatic crap. Why are you here now?
Black or white?
I'll take white. I know you prefer black. I always had a feeling it would end like this.
What? With chess?
Well, something like that.
Yes, well, it was either this or Monopoly, and let's be honest, an eternity isn't long enough to play that game. You know, there is something I've been wondering. You knew that the universe would end like this.
And your question is?
Well, if you knew that this would happen, why bother in the first place?
Say you plant and care for a flower. You know that flower will die.
True.
But in the time the flower does live, it will produce the most beautiful blossom it can. Does a short but full life outweigh the inevitable death?
You refer to the belief in the transitory nature of life, except you have extended it to all of creation as a whole.
When confronted with the vast yawning expanse of creation, what else can one do when trying to make sense of it all?
Invent stories.
Pardon?
Well, that's what they did. Humans. They told stories about deities and creators because the truth was too strange to contemplate.
Are you saying humans created their deities and religions merely to make sense of the world?
Everything they did, all their history, and you think it just boiled down to belief? I realize it's been an eternity, but even I can remember the first time a human took a pigment and started to paint. The first time a creature did something, not to survive or procreate, but for the sheer joy of it. To create something purely because it was beautiful. And it made me feel.
Made you feel what?
Well, that's the point. It made me feel.
Ah, is that why you let them live so long?
I beg your pardon.
The human race came so close to extinction so many times, but they always seem to hang in there, even without my interference.
Huh. Know this, creator, even though that title means nothing now. I am not swayed by emotions as you are. Your move. Stop that.
You might not be swayed by emotions, Death, but you and I both know what you'd do for one last hour with opera.
I may have allowed myself some occasional frivolities, but what I didn't do was form sentimental attachments.
After all these years, you're still on about that. The gift of fire.
Of course, you had no problem with it at the time. You just thought it would help them last through the night.
If they didn't have their gift of fire, they would never have learned to cook, to make their delicacies, which we both know you like.
Correct. But they also learnt to smelt their metals, and in doing so, learnt to make weapons, and over time, those weapons became the stuff of nightmares. Let me ask you something. Have you ever wondered if fire was a gift or a blight? Your silence answers my question.
You're right.
Really? I was just taking a shot in the dark.
Well, we both know your shots in the dark tend to be quite accurate.
So then, what do you regret?
Was I good?
My word, old friend, that is a big question. Good was created to be divine. Evil was created to balance it. Therefore, evil, by definition, must also be divine.
That is the biggest load of horse shit I've heard for 100 trillion years.
Is this what's become of us?
I know what you mean.
Okay, I'm going to ask a personal question.
Dear Lord.
What exactly did you set out to do?
Well, what does anyone? It was over 100 septillion years ago. You can't expect me to remember. In all honesty, I think I just wanted something to love. And maybe to be loved back. Was I wrong?
No. You most certainly were not.
Oh.
Oh, there. You had it lucky. You were loved. Believe me, I know. Everyone loves a creator. But who could love death?
I did.
You've never said that before.
Well, for the longest time, I couldn't. But on the lonely nights, I would think back to when we were the best of friends, and it helped me sleep a little more easily. So, here we are. Where we were always going, I suppose.
2 pieces left. 2 of us left. The Black and the White King. The question remains, how does it end?
I concede.
No, you can't do that.
I lost you as my best friend, and I went through so many years wanting nothing more than to have you back at my side. I'm doing this not just for you, but for me. To make a clean break, and perhaps...
I understand. So, what happens now?
I don't know. Thought you'd know.
This isn't a very poignant end to our universe.
You fancy a drink?
Where?
Isn't there another universe?
Okay. But you should know that if the next universe is anything like this one, then it will be at least 13 billion years until the pub's open. Oh, one last thing.
Yes.
People would always ask me what the meaning of life was.
Ah.
But I'm deaf, so I don't know what it is, and I'd end up making something up on the spot. So?
Now, come on, I can't tell you.
It's the end of the sodding universe. Who am I gonna tell?
Well, okay. The meaning of life is...
Creator was played by Gary Robson and Death by Raj Gutha. The Leaves Above All was written by Jake Hart. The dramaturgs were Tom Powell and Andrew Sterry. The sound engineer was Louis Blatherwick. Sound designer and composer was John Nichols. And the director was Polly Thomas. The Leaves Above All was a Naked production for Pentabus.